Lonley Man Podcast, Dabnah, yes, and yes, we are back. And today we are going to be, reviewing and reacting to England and then being knocked out in the final by Spain. I do have a structure to this video, but there's certain bits that I've got to get out. Like, number one, I can't believe we're out. I can't believe it didn't come home. I very rarely fall into the England hype, but this time I really did. Like, every part of me felt like it knew it was coming home. So I kept saying through the whole tournament, like, I'm viewing history now. Like, I'm just gonna see how it unfolds. But I had no doubt at any point that it wasn't England on that trophy. Even when it came out, I was watching the game. Obviously, you got one side of it is the Spanish colours and the Spanish ribbons. Then you got our side, white and red. And I turned around to my sister at the time and I said, I can't believe that's going to be ours. We're going to watch the players lift it. Kane's going to have some silverware, and it didn't go that way. And, of course, we'll get into the game, but these are the general feelings right now. I want to be as genuine as possible. It's even been a couple of days and I've needed that just to get my headspace, watch the game back. Tough time going back to work. As you can imagine, I'm a very boisterous fan, if it's West Ham or England, and I've been absolutely giving it. Work chat, family chat, best friends in person, so it's a very ha in your face at the moment from them, which isn't even that tough to take. I'm not even bothered, because I believed it and it didn't happen. We move on. Or we pretend like everything's fine. But now I want to just get into the overview of the game, what I thought. Genuinely, first half of the game, I thought we were, I'm not going to say incredible, I use that word way too much, but we seemed to stop Spain at source. Kyle Walker had Jamal on toast and in his pocket, and I was just like, both wings, Shaw on the other side, are dealing with these players way better than I thought that they would. That was their main attacking threat. And then, of course, you had Foden, who his job was basically just to follow and man mark Rodri the whole time. It felt like it was working to an absolute T. And then half-time was called, and I'm not going to lie, when they ran in the tunnel, genuinely clapped it. I said, well done, Southgate. You seemed to, shut down all the corridors of, obviously, Spain play very wide football. A new kind of Spanish football, really, really players that aren't afraid to run up the wings and chuck a ball in, blah, blah, blah. Really positive, quick play. It used to be passing with no striker and no focal point. Obviously, they play with Morata now. And I'm not going to lie, I was fairly confident. I was just like, oh, the typical speaker has gone off as always. I genuinely thought, I was fairly confident playing the way that we was and the few half chances that we made that we'd come out and score quite early. The only problem with this statement is they done what I thought we'd do to Spain, to us. Caught us completely cold, fresh out the bot. The ball goes in, Williams does not miss a heartbeat. And England didn't particularly do anything wrong with that goal. If I was to place blame on anyone, I'd probably go Saka. Should have trapped that man, Williams, because as soon as the ball was well, I suppose you could also blame Bellingham then. Bellingham looked in two minds. Obviously, he was in a position where he had to cover two players, and then as soon as he loses his man, someone's got to cover him. Then someone's got to cover the defensive side. The whole defence shifts over one side. Saka, of course, is the winger defender that Gareth's been doing for most of the tournament. Hasn't tracked Williams on that side, and that's why he was in so much fucking space. The space was criminal, but then I suppose you could argue like everyone did do their job by rotating and moving closer to a player. Everyone was just a player out, and there was one left, and unfortunately teams the quality of Spain will absolutely punish you, and that's exactly what they've done. I don't know what Walker, maybe he smoked something in the dressing room, or maybe there were too many women around him or in his proximity, but his head was somewhere else, because he was a different player when he came out. He literally went from probably like, I've got Yamal on strings, to I need a woman to undo my strings because I'm certainly not thinking about this final. There's a couple of William chances that are like carbon copies of the first. For half an hour was absolutely fire, and I was petrified every time he got on the ball. Yamal, as mentioned, was obviously allowed to grow back into the game. He had a couple of chances too. Again, his two strikes were very similar and in very similar positions, but the England team are allowing this to happen. It's a weird passage of play, photo of it, where we leave an incredible amount of space between defence and attack, because when our structures are 5, it's more defensive. When we're attacking or trying to hit them on the break, it becomes a 3. Your Sakas and that go from their defensive responsibilities to their striking ones, and they just allowed this space in the middle, which when you're playing a passing team like Spain is absolutely fucking criminal. Then there was the Bellingham chance. Sorry, I'll try not to explain the whole game because we have seen it, where he absolutely turns these defenders, and I think they're currently still on the same carousel. Then Gareth decides it's time for a change, finally, and brings on Palmer. Obviously a substitution that's worked because he gave the assist to Watkins. But what a player, can I just say, like, all biases aside, and I don't even know why I hate him. Like, probably just because my brother's a Chelsea fan and he bangs on about him, and I'm still in love with Hazard, even though he left like 4 decades ago. He gets up, he doesn't even think twice, he bangs this ball. My mum's front room has never seen destruction like it. I went absolutely potty. Claims about it's football, it's just football, it's this and that. Like, this is life. Do you know what football coming home means to avid English football fans out there? It's what we live for. And then, like, from here, I'm like, we've just got the momentum. We all know where this is going. It's going to go 2-1. The nation's going to go crazy. Everyone's going to call in sick the next day. And we just don't use that momentum. I don't know if it's fear of the team doing the same thing you want to do back at you. And obviously in finals, there's slim margins. But you have to take a risk. And Gareth did take a risk. But I feel like he took the wrong risk and he done it in the wrong way. I've never seen an attacking-minded manager... a defensive-minded manager switch to attack and that savage so quick, but the players haven't even calmed down. The ball's bouncing around everywhere. No one's really got control of the game. How are you looking to build a successful counter-attack or just attacking in general if you can't even pass the fucking ball? I'm no manager. I'm nothing about management. I watch a few guys who will explain football to me, and obviously I've got my own opinion and I've watched it myself for years. The fact he didn't soak up that pressure, just get a few passes off, calm everyone the fuck down, start to build attack, do your passing, but it was like everyone just went, right, goal! And I think that's what cost us the game. I'm basically saying, apart from the feeling of momentum, we didn't actually do anything with it, apart from panic. I know hindsight's a brilliant thing, but if I wanted him to do anything in that moment now, calm everyone down, park the motherfucking bus and just get to extra time, maybe that would have been worse for us, I don't know. But I feel like the way he set up in the first half and that system and how it worked, regardless of how Spain adapted to it, I think they found it easier, us coming at them on the front foot. than they did trying to break down that solid defence that we had. Because watching it back, all that went out the fucking window anyway. So I don't know. I'm really trying to sit with this one in my head, and maybe I'm having a bit of a moment now, but yeah, it's just shit. It doesn't matter anyway. I'm still not bothered. Cucurella puts the ball in. He's in absolutely acres on the fucking left side. You could put a fucking planet there. Who's not there? Of course it's Walker. Yarzabal scores a fucking tap in, and well, it's done. I think everyone knew it at that point. I turned around to my family. I was like, it's done. And it was so easy. And this is why I said earlier, like, you can't give these countries a yard, a step, a fucking second, because they punish you. And another interesting conversation I've had the whole way through the tournament is England, they're just not cutthroat enough. We let teams in. We make it hard for ourselves, and there's like a whole culture thing too, which I'll get onto later. But it was, feeling wise, emotionally, just fucking draining, just dead, bleak, nothingness. And do you know what's making me laugh right now? The same comments running through my head. Charlie, it's just football. I can't explain this unless you live it, unless you know what I'm saying. This feeling, in the way I'm talking, I'm sorry, you won't understand. But anyway, as looking at the game as a whole, Spain they were obviously the better team, regardless of how I thought we got on in the first half. I know, if I'm honest with myself, they fucking deserved to win that game, and win it they did. And their name, I feel like it was the best team anyway, probably played the best football. So it's fully deserved, not just them winning that game, but the tournament. It hurts like a motherfucker to say, and maybe I might lay off the paellas, not that I ate them anyway, just in some kind of national protest of one person. But look, we're out. The dream's over. They won fair and square. There's a few images doing the rounds right now where people think that the players have been swapped, and if you draw a ruler line from the camera, you see from the TV that the Spain player is offside, and that's what cost us. And I just want to say one thing, like, I might bang on about England and it's coming home, blah blah blah, maybe slightly deluded at times, it's pure passion. I'm not that bad. Like, that's insane. You would love to believe it, and trust me, I was looking at the lines when I was like, geez, we fucking got a free penalty, give us this. But fair's fair, and you know, there's an argument to be said that if we don't get that penalty, do we even win that game? Obviously Kane slotted it home still, but come on, that penalty in the semi-final wasn't a penalty, so maybe we rode our luck there and it just ran out. Who knows? But I think regardless, we were played off the park and punished, and I think that's why Spain are where they are now with this new team. So young too, so much time. Already looks like there's so much experience in that team, and they're going to have so many games together, so many different tournaments. It's the same with our team. Obviously, we'll have a few vets go out, but we've got way more coming through than we do leaving. I've got some notes here that I just wanted to read out for the video because I think it summarises it really well. Don't worry, it's not a diss track or any new music. You'll be okay. Spain won because they played as a team, and when they needed to, they could adapt to the game in front of them. England was a team of individuals and even more individual moments, and were unable to adapt in the same way as Spain. And I think that rings true in the final. If you disagree, leave it in the comments. That's great. So let's be optimistic. Look, if Spain can do it, England can do it. That's got to be the theory, right? Everything else hasn't worked, so let's start copying teams. I'm just chatting nonsense now. Some positives and negatives now. Look, it's another final. It's history making. It's our first final on foreign soil. Yeah, I know we lost it. Yeah, I know we can't get over the line. Get into the negatives after. But everything is a step in the right direction. Yes, are we seeing the football that we want to see? Probably not. But what it is 10 times better than going out against Iceland. Despite the upset, it does look like the group of players are all together. There's no more of that. Oh, I play for City. Oh, I play for Man United. Oh, I play for Arsenal. Where the Premier League's too important, so we can't get on. I feel like that's been totally abolished now. I probably won't fear another penalty shootout. Well, I will when we're in it. I can't lie. I always fear for England just in general, but it looks like we've got some real fucking takers now, and certainly takers that will be there for the next World Cup and the next Euros. In that department, I think we're okay. And like I touched on earlier, like obviously some players are going to go. I don't think you might see Walker again. I don't think you might see Kane again. Possibly you get another World Cup out of him, but I think after that he's done. But we've already got ready-made talent, and you got to think, if we're saying 2 years or 4 years from now, we'll have the players to replace them. I'm talking about like the inner workings of the team, more of the spinal stuff. Like you'll see Stones, you'll see Pickford, you'll see Rice, you'll see some real like Saka's well young. You'll see all that Foden young, Bellingham. They'll all come through, and they'll be like the golden generation you used to be when it used to be the Lampards, the Gerrards, Rooneys, and that. And most of this, if you like it or not, you're a fan or you're not, is down to Gareth. He's done a lot of hard work in improving the coaching, improving the football. I know we could sit here for hours and completely pick apart every bit of football that was played, but in my opinion, in my world, look, if we scored 1-0 and we had 10% possession and we scored with that one bit of possession, but we won the Euros or we won the World Cup, trust me, we wouldn't go down for how we played in that final. We would go down as champions, and you should always have that champions mentality. You should always find a way to win. And if there isn't a way to win, you win anyway because you're a champion. You know, I'm 26 years old and I've seen 2 finals. My parents are like 50 plus and they're only just seeing this. Negatives to take, of course, it does feel like we still can't get over the line. It does feel that we fall at the final hurdle. It does feel like the football's more defensive. There's no real press or urgency from the players. And England are still as painful, agonising and stressful to watch as they always have been. So nothing's changed there. Oh, and we're out. But I want to know what you think. Please leave your comments down below in the comment section. Obviously in the comment section. Where else would they go? What your positives are, what your negatives are, what needs to change. I do have another video coming soon on England. So I will respond to any major changes or mess ups that I've made. Good luck finding one. I'm only joking, of course. I get things wrong all the time. Just ask the missus. What I mean to say is you might comment something and it might make me change my mind. So maybe get to it next time. Get to what they say and start making jokes and just end the video. Anyway, please like, comment and subscribe. Your boy Dabs out. Please stay tuned. Yes, this podcast is coming back and it's coming back with vengeance. And I'm going to be talking about all the topics I want to talk about as soon as they happen. And I'm nailing myself. I am locking myself up. I will put myself in chains. I'm going to screw myself to my desk and my studio to make sure I make these motherfucking videos, because I do enjoy making them. I just make a long day of it. But anyway, what should we say? Make sure you record podcasts and don't think it's ever not coming home. Your boy Dabs out.